Well, good morning, Willow School. Good morning, Willow family. It's wonderful to be with you this Thursday morning. Let's start by taking 3 deep breaths together. So let's exhale and inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So today's morning gathering is going to focus on humility. And I found a wonderful quote to share with you guys today from C.S. Lewis. He said, "Humility is not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less." So, with that in mind, I'd like to share a story called The Legend of the Beaver's Tail. Long ago, Beaver did not look like he does now. Yes, he was a chubby fellow, and yes, he had 2 very large front teeth, but his tail was not wide and flat. Beaver's tail was thick with silky fur. "Look at my glorious tail," Beaver said to Bird. "I'll bet you wish you had one like this." Bird said, "Beaver, it is a fine tail, but truly all I wish for is a cozy nest for my family." Beaver ignored Bird. He fluffed and plumped his tail as Bird flew off to hunt for twigs and leaves. "This tail is the tail to end all tails," Beaver said to Deer. "I'll bet you wish you had one like this." Deer said, "Beaver, it is a fine tail, but truly all I wish for is some tender grass for my family to eat." Beaver ignored Deer. He brushed his tail on one side and then the other as Deer left to forage for food. "I'm just saying," said Beaver to Fish, "this tail of mine is absolutely the most magnificent tail a creature could have. I'll bet you wish you had one like this." Fish leaped from the water and said, "Beaver, it is a fine tail, but truly all I wish for is calm and warm water to rest in." Beaver ignored Fish, and Fish struggled on through the icy water as Beaver looked at his own reflection. He turned round and round, trying to catch a glimpse of his glorious tail. "Humph," said Beaver. "How rude. I think my friends are jealous of this beautiful tail of mine." He waddled off to gnaw on a log. Autumn turned to a shivery winter. Beaver lumbered through the woods and then began to have a good chew on a trunk of a large tree. Every now and then he would stop to run in circles around the trunk. In this way he could chase his tail and give it yet another admiring look. Beaver was so caught up in this game, he did not notice the tree creaking and teetering back and forth as he chipped away at its base. Crash, smash! Beaver's fluffy, beautiful, glorious tail was trapped beneath the massive fallen tree. Beaver tugged and pulled. When he finally got his tail out, it was no longer fluffy, beautiful, or glorious. "Oh, my tail," moaned Beaver, and he sat and cried himself into a huge puddle of salty tears. But no one heard his cries or came to comfort him. And it was when Beaver stopped crying for the loss of his glorious tail that he cried harder and longer for the loss of his friends. As time passed, Beaver kept very busy to take his mind from his loneliness. Where he carefully felled trees, tender grass grew. Where he dragged the branches to the water, tiny leaves and twigs littered the forest floor. And where he built a dam, the water slowed and became warm. In the springtime, the animals returned. They watched Beaver perfectly balance on his new tail as he chewed the tree bark. When he swam to the shore to greet them, his tail was a rudder guiding him straight and true. And when he wanted to make an announcement, he slapped the water, making a loud sound. "I am ashamed that I only talked about myself," said Beaver. "Your friendship is important to me. Please stay." "Beaver," said Deer, "you have made the grass plentiful for my family. You are a good friend. Of course we will stay." "And my family can nest with the twigs and leaves you have scattered," said Bird. "The dam you built slowed the water and made a pool," said Fish. "I can rest and be warm. Thank you, Beaver." "And that new tail of yours is amazing," said his friends. "We wish we had tails like that." "Thank you," said Beaver. He looked back at his tail. It was wide, flat, and furless. It really was quite glorious. So, as C.S. Lewis said, humility is not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less. And with that, I'd like to share a song with you, a karaoke of the song Edelweiss, which is about a little white flower. So I'm going to sing along softly, and we'll sing the song through 2 times together. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, small and white, clean and bright. You look happy to meet me. Blossom of snow, you bloom and grow, bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my home and farm. Every morning you greet me, small and white, clean and bright. You look happy to meet me. Blossom of snow, you bloom and grow, bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my home and So I wish you a wonderful day.